I'm here with my daughter Alicia. Well, she's actually on the phone helping me get this live. Um, so bear with me. I've had trouble with the orientation, but I think we're the right way now. Are we the right way, Alicia?
I cannot see you live on your channel at all. It just shows that you're like waiting for you to go live.
Okay, well it has that I'm live and there's one person there. So yeah, I think now that's right. It looks right.
Now I see it.
Yeah, are we all right?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Perfect, and I found the script too.
Okay.
So I'll let you get on with your, have fun with your coloring.
Thank you. Bye. That's my daughter Alicia, everyone helping me out. Okay, so I have been coloring this morning using new to me. These are the Spectrum Noir Tri-blend markers, and I got them for Christmas. And I've done a little coloring earlier, a couple of weeks ago. Well, is it even? It was for Love for Lizi project that I was doing. So I had the tri-blend markers out. I did a bit of coloring, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a bit more. So this morning I was doing up my little chart because the Frugal Crafter recommends that when you get you know, markers or anything like that, you should do up a little chart for yourself. So that's what I have done here. And I thought, well, you know what, I could have been doing this and having, you know, my subscribers watching. So at the moment I have only one subscriber, and that's my lovely daughter Alicia. But I'm going to carry on as if there's lots of people here watching. I'll keep an eye on the chat, and if there are any questions or anything, I can you know, answer them as we're going. But what I want to do is I want to take my color chart now that I have. I'm going to put it there in front of me, and I want to do some stamping. I wonder, can I zoom in? Oh, look, I can. Oh, okay, so maybe I need to do that a little bit slower. So let's see. Ooh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm going to leave it there. I wanted to be in enough so that you could see what I'm doing. I hope the lighting is okay. So I've got some of the latest Love from Lizi stamps from the Spring Wishes kit. This is the April 2024. It's just going to be coming out to the subscribers now shortly. And I love the little bunny rabbits. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to stamp some of them on Lizi's alcohol marker friendly white cardstock that we get. And I'm going to use my Memento ink because apparently this won't blur when you use alcohol markers. So I have my bunnies all here ready to go. I've got my lovely 3 little bunnies there. I'm going to actually come out a little bit more. Please excuse. I have to put my fingers on the screen to expand and contract it. So I hope it's enough, and I hope the lighting is good enough. I'm going to move my markers over there. Right, so I've got my ink, and I've got a little thing here that I use. This is a piece of white cardstock. It's laminated, and I have non-stick, non-slip matting on the back of it. So I can put it down this way. I can put my lid here, and I can put my ink pad there, and it doesn't tend to slip too much. Well, it's better than not having anything there at all. So I'm going to stamp my rabbits using my Memento ink, and hopefully this is going to stamp well, and I'm not going to get it all over my fingers. This is a new ink, a new stamp, and I haven't conditioned it. Normally I find with Lizi's stamps, you don't need to condition them, but it is always a good idea to color them. I see Alicia was spring cleaning and gave herself a headache. Well, Alicia, cleaning gives me a headache as well. Oh, that stamped up lovely now, didn't it? I'm delighted with that. It came up lovely. I find with cleaning, the smell can sometimes get to me, especially bleach. I can find that really strong and give me a headache. I have a steam cleaner that I got about 5 years ago, and when we moved, it kind of got relegated to the garage and I forgot about it. And it was found on Sunday, and I got it out and had a go of it, and I'm delighted with it because there's very little smell. With the markers, the Memento has a tiny smell if you smell the ink on the stamp. The markers, there's no smell. With doing the sentiment, or with doing the panel here, I found I had no problem with the smell. And now that could be me. I have a little bit of congestion. I have a bit of a nasal drip, so sometimes I mightn't smell things as well as others. But yeah, I find that there's not really a smell on the markers. I find that the Memento ink doesn't have a bad smell. It has a kind of an inky smell. Isn't this rabbit just so cute? Now these will have to be fussy cut because there is no dies for these. The die that came in this month's kit was actually a beautiful big basket shaped die. And then we got little dies that you can add on to. And you'll see that when I do the cards for my 10 cards, 1 kit video. But I just love these. And I thought, you know what? I can practice my ink blending and then I can do a bit of fussy cutting. Aren't these so lovely? Now I do know you need to make sure your ink is really well dried. And I think I have enough in that. Hello to anyone who's watching. I see I have 2 people watching now. That's probably my daughter and whoever the other person is. I missed it. So do say hello if you like. So I've got my stamps stamped. I'm cleaning my stamps now, and I like to use a microfiber cloth. This is a clean cloth. It's just very stained. It's damp, so it helps to take the ink off the stamp, and I like to do that. That way they're ready to be put away, because I'd be terrible for getting ink all over my fingers. Now I can pop my little ink pad away and we're ready to do some coloring. So now I'm going to use my sheet here and have a look at the different colors that I want to use. So earth brown I think would be a good color for our rabbits. I also think the tan blend, the brown gray and the ice gray, I think they would be some good colors. So I'm going to pull out those 4. So we need the tan blend, which is that one, the earth brown blend, the brown gray is that one, and the ice gray. Where's the ice gray? There. So there, my 4 markers, and I'll just turn them up so you can see. And the great thing about these is there is 3 markers in one. So I'll show you with this one. So you get a light, a mid, and a dark color. So the light one is here. Then the mid color is here. And then your dark color is here. And I do have Spectrum Noir. I have about, I think it's an 80 of them, and they're all single markers. And the one thing I struggled with was actually picking out the markers that would blend and mix well. And I know it's something with practice I would probably get better at, but it put me off. So I'm going to start now. I am not a colorist. I'm no Frugal Crafter or Jennifer Maguire or any of those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color the whole rabbit in the light color. And then what I'll do is I'll take the darker color, the mid-tone, and then the dark, and I shall go from there. So all I'm doing is a little bit of coloring. I thought I would go live on the channel, and those that are, you know, free, maybe having lunch or breakfast, depending on where you are, would be able to join me and we could have a little chat. I didn't put any notification up on my channel, which probably would have been a good idea, but yeah, it's just something for me to do. I'm going to take out a light pink color to do the inside of the ears, and using my chart, I think the pale pink would be a good one. So I'll have a look for the pale pink. That's that one there. And I'm going to put this up here so I'll know that it is for the ears. So now I'm just going to color it in. This is my pale one. I don't know about you, but does anyone else mind when they have noisy markers? This one doesn't squeak, at least. Some markers actually, oh, I can't handle that at all. So now I'm going to the mid color, and where the dark bits are, I'm just going to go around there with the mid color, because that gives us an idea. These stamps really do kind of tell you where you need to put your colors, you know, because they're dark. So I'm going to put the mid color in there and around by his chest, and then here where the legs meet, and I'm just kind of squiggling it along there where the tail is. And then I'm going to take my dark color and I'm going to do where the dark ink is. So I won't bring it out as far as I have with the mid-tone. I don't know if you can hear the birds, guys, if I quiet a little bit. Can you hear them? I think it's the song thrush that's out there, and aren't they mating around now? So he's really giving it large out there, singing his song. It's just lovely. It's lovely where I am here in the country. The weather is not great today. It's been very overcast and miserable and wet. Now, like I said, I am not a colorist, so I am just putting the ink where I think it looks best. Now I'm going to go back over where I did my dark colors, and again I'm using the, and we're going to see how this turns out, you and me both. And now I'm going to go to my light color and I'm going to kind of blend that all in, but I'm not going to color on the mid and dark. I'm going to kind of color in between, because I want the rabbit's fur to look mottled or different colors. And don't forget, when your markers dry, you know, you see the tones. And now I'm going to do some of the light pink just in the ear. Go in with the mid-tone, and then I'm going to go in with the dark, because I'm seeing that the lighter tones are very light, so the darker tone looks better. I'm going to put a little bit just there at his mouth, and I like that. I think that looks good. What do you think? I think that looks okay. I'm going to have another go, and I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use the tan blend. So with this one I started with the light, went to the darks, and then went back to the light. Now I know Amy Orr from Prairie Paper and Ink, she likes to start with the darks. So let's have a go at doing that. So I'm going to use the dark color, and like I said, this is the tan blend. I'm going to use that where the darkest shades are on my rabbit. I'm going to bring them in there. Hello and welcome if you've joined. I see we have 4 people here now. I'm very surprised. I thought I'd be here on my own, and I wasn't too bothered because I was making up my chart for my Spectrum Noir markers. And my daughter Alicia, who was here earlier, she might still be in the chat, she had said to me, Mum, when you're doing this, you know, you should really do it as a live and let your subs see, you know, that you're coloring. You don't have to be brilliant at everything, Mum. You know, just show them that you're willing to give a go and let them see. So I thought, you know what, Alicia, you're right. I should. So what I'm doing with my dark marker is I'm going over where the dark lines are. Good morning, Karen. You're late because when you clicked on first, and I can't see the rest of it. I wonder, could I bring it up on my other phone so I can see the comments? Let me just have a look and see. Is that this one? Yes, it is. I can see my, oh, look at all the comments. Right, I'm going to bring my phone over here so I can see. Right, Karen said that she's late because when she clicked on first, the link was removed in the video. Karen, would you believe it took me 4 times to get the video? So the orientation was right. You have to go into advanced settings and you have to select whether you want a horizontal or vertical. And sure, I didn't know that. So yeah, I was putting it on the live and then seeing that it wasn't the right way, and then I was coming out and I was deleting it. So I do apologize. It's a while since I've done a live, and just remembering and getting the thing to work. So yeah, that was the fun there. So I'm glad you found me. I'm just doing this as a bit of fun, using some of the stamps from the From Lizi's latest card kit. And I'm just using my tri-blend markers and coloring in. So I've started with the dark. I've now gone to my light, and now I'm going to go to my mid. So you can tell I'm not a professional colorist because they wouldn't do that. But I'm just, do you know what I'm doing, guys? I'm just playing around, using my markers, seeing how they work, seeing how they blend, and just having fun with it. If I don't use any of these in my project, well, what loss is it to me? Sure, didn't I have a bit of time coloring in and just enjoying the process? And, you know, I think it's by practicing that we get better. So I'm going to go back now to my light, and I'm going to go in again with another bit of light because this marker is different to this one. This one was our earth brown blend. Maybe I should write that down, that this one is our earth brown. And this one is our tan. So I'll put tan blend. Just that if anyone comes back to this and they're wondering, so you'll know. I'm all fingers and thumbs, guys. I hope you forgive me. Hi, Edwina. You just found my live. Well, Edwina, I had to work on getting it up and running. I think I did 4 or 5 of them, and I had to delete them and restart because I couldn't get the orientation right on the phone. For a finish, I had to video chat my daughter, who's in the Netherlands, guys, and I had to get her to have a look and see what I was doing. And sure, I don't know, I flukily found that I didn't have the orientation set properly. So I want this little rabbit to look, you know, that tawny kind of rabbit where they're kind of multi-hued. That's the kind of look I'm going for here. And to be honest, I'm just kind of adding a bit of colour and flicking it. I mean, I'm no Sandy Allnock. I'm no Amy or Jennifer Maguire but you know what? We can all have a go and just do a bit of colouring. Our cards are mostly for friends and family and stuff like that. And I think anyone who gets a handmade card, because this is what this is going to go on to, is a handmade card, they'd be delighted. They're not looking too fussy. And most of our friends and everything, sure, they're not great colorists either. So they're going to look at ours and go, wow, that's brilliant. So that is what I have said in my own head. That's the premise that I'm working on, that anyone that gets a handmade card that has colouring on it is going to think, oh, that's lovely, you did a grand job, because they mightn't, you know, have a go. So it's knowing when to stop. This is when I have the problem, is knowing when, you know, you've done enough and to move on to the next image. And I see it with Sam Calcott. She is, for me, she's my biggest inspiration. And she does colors and she really defines the dark, the medium, and the light. And it's left, you know, like in the sheet here, you can see there's a light, a medium, and a dark color. And I kind of sometimes feel, oh, I have to blend all that in. And then it doesn't look as good, you know? So I'm happy with that little fella now. And you saw there, I mean, you know, I wasn't being too precious about it and it came out looking fine. I'm going to take the dark color from my pale pink. There it is there. And I'm just going to add a little bit into the ear because I did it over here. You see here, I did it there and it needed it. Now I didn't add it in there. So I'm going to add that in here first on this one. So now let's see. Did I say hello to Amanda? And oh, hi, Denise. Welcome. Little G Paper Crafts has joined us. Hello, Denise. Denise is a lovely subscriber, like all of you. And she has started her own. Oh, I'm going to change my marker. What color are we using now? I'm going to go for the brown gray blend. Okay, and I'm going to start with the light. We'll start with the light color for our, and I'm going to write on it brown gray. Anyway, as I was saying, Denise has started her own YouTube channel and it's called Little G Paper Crafts. You'd see her down there in the comments and she's a lovely crafter. Yeah, and she does lovely videos and I hope if you're watching you support Denise's channel. Pop over and see her after my live. If you're in your craft room and you're not doing anything in particular, she has a couple of great videos up. And I think all us crafters should support each other and shout out. You know, I don't have a lot of subscribers. That's not what I'm here for, folks. If you know me, you know I'm here because this is my hobby. I'm at home with the 2 dogs while hubby works. I'm in a position that I can be at home and crafting as a hobby. I'm so lucky to be able to do that, you know. And yeah, so I don't do this for the money because it's not a priority for me, you know. So I just do what I enjoy and what makes me happy. And I do a bit of crafting because I would be doing a bit of crafting anyway. And I just share that on my channel. And I'm very lucky that Lizi from Lizi liked what I was doing when I was purchasing the kits. And she thought, you know what, Simone, I'd like to have you as a design team member. So when I send out my kits, you know, you can do your thing with them. And, you know, I was blown away by that because, you know, I think a lot of us, we don't have a lot of faith in how good we are with things. Well, I don't anyway. And I think we all kind of think, oh, well, we're not good enough. You know, oh, I could do that. I wouldn't be good enough, or I don't know enough, or I wouldn't be technical enough. But sure, unless you give it a try, you've nothing to lose. You know, if you're not putting any money into it and stuff. And sure, I'm just using my phone. This is an old phone I have that I use, and I use my tablet for editing. And the software that I use is for editing is called KineMaster. It's very reasonably priced, and it's, you know, it's so easy. I wouldn't be great now with technology. If I had to go into a laptop and, you know, find, oh, just going onto a laptop scares me, finding documents and all that kind of thing. But give me a phone and I can find my way around the phone brilliantly. So yeah, the KineMaster editing I find brilliant, and I really recommend, if you're not good with laptops and finding your way around laptops, have a look at the KineMaster for editing. It's very simple. And yeah, so that's what I use for my editing, and it's brilliant. It really is. It's up there now as one of the leading ones, you know, for doing your editing and stuff. And I enjoy that process. It does take time, and there's very few people realize, you know, how much time it takes. But I think it's worth it. Oh, I'm on the dark. We don't want the dark one there. We want the light one. So let's see. The bunnies are looking good. Well, you know what, Denise? I'm winging it now. That's what I'm doing. I'm just throwing down color where I think it should be. And sure, doesn't it look grand? I'm going to add a little bit of my pink to the tip of their noses. And I think it'll be nice on all of them. Yeah, just that little hint of pink. Isn't that cute? So now we have three of our bunnies there. And look, like I said, they're nothing special, but aren't they fine for putting on? Fussy cut them out now and add them to a card. I just think they'll be grand. Hello, Crafty Dawn. Dawn is another lovely subscriber of mine. And again, she has her own YouTube channel, Crafty Dawn, as you can see there. And Dawn does lovely videos and edits them and everything. And again, another one I would definitely encourage you all to have a go and, you know, pop over and have a look at Dawn's channel. She makes lovely videos as well. And she has the Love from Lizi kits. And so Dawn does some videos as well using the Love from Lizi. And just, you know, another one like myself that just having a go, adding a bit, you know, I think it's lovely. Sure, what else would we be doing? And isn't it great for our brains to be doing stuff like this? I've loads of gardening to do, but the weather is so bad I can't get out there, and I'm delighted. Isn't that awful? Because this weekend we have a skip coming. Our daughter is coming up as well for a visit, herself and her partner. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of work being done. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to just take the time to do a little bit of coloring and get my Love from Lizi done before that all starts off. There's major works being done in the garden. And, you know, hubby and I, we tend to just knuckle in and do stuff ourselves together. We'll give anything a go. My husband is very clever, and he's really good when it comes to DIY. I mean, we took down the chimney there was a chimney in our sitting room, and I wanted that sitting room as my bedroom. And I wanted my bedroom to be the sitting room because it looks out onto the back garden. So I didn't like the chimney This will tell you now how bad we are. I didn't like the chimney being in my bedroom, so hubby said, let's take it down. So we got some quotes, and sure, it was very expensive, guys. So we decided we'd do it ourselves, which we did, and I was delighted with it. It looks great. I love this little bunny and these colors. I'm not going to faff around with it too much. I think we definitely need to see, you know, some of the lighter on him. And don't we use these kind of colors when we want to kind of represent the whites? Like if this was to be a white bunny, we'd color it in gray. So I'm going to add a little bit of dark now here and around here where it would be in shadow. Oh, there's the hubby, Mad Mike. That's my husband. He's at work, very busy at work. He doesn't have time to be on YouTube. But he's such a clever guy. He's such a good dad, and he's very creative and artistic. And I'm looking forward to when he retires, because I'm looking forward to doing some really cool things with Mike when he retires, which is a good while away yet. But yeah, I love that little bunny. Isn't he great? The ice gray bunny. Isn't he lovely? I think he came out really well. I hope you can see. Yes, Mike, handsome and hairy. All the ladies love you. Didn't that come out lovely? I'm delighted with that. I don't know if it looks as well on the camera as what it does here, but I'm chuffed with that little bunny. Lovely. Okay, so now I'm going to go, which is this one? This is the tan blend again. So I'll put tan blend. And let's color this one in. So I'm going to kind of go along with what I've learned now with this one. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to start with the darker colors in around, and then go to the medium and then the light. I love these tri-blend markers. Mike, I definitely want to expand this set, darling. They're lovely. But they make it so easy. And I think the stamps, Lizi's stamps as well, help, because where it's really dark on the stamp, that's where I'm doing my darkest shade. And then where it's light and there's no marks, that's where I'm doing the lighter shade. I'm going to add in my little pink to the ear before I color over it. Just there. I know you can't hear the birds outside, but my gosh, they're giving it large. They really are. I think that little sleeping bunny is so cute. Okay, I'm going to go to the mid now. Bye, love. I'd say, what time is it? 1:15. He's on his lunch. That's why he's in on YouTube, keeping an eye. He would have got the notification as well. But yeah. So the birds are just giving it large outside. Do you have gardens where you are? And are the birds there? They're in full mating, aren't they, at the moment? I need to add a little pink for the nose, which is just down here. That cute little nose. And now I'm going to go in with my light and just put some light in there and along there. So this wouldn't have been something that would appeal to me before. The thoughts of coloring in would have been it would have been scary to me, because you know, I'd be afraid I'd get it wrong, or I wouldn't color it in right, or do you know, that kind of way. Whereas now my thing very much now is, sure, look, we'll give it a bash, we'll give it a go. Do you know? I don't think there's really any wrong way and right way to do it. Just do what looks right to you. And that's all that I'm doing here. And I think we need a bit more dark there, because that's what he's lying on. And then I'll do a little bit of the mid, just a little bit. Edwina says, in rural Wales, the primroses are looking lovely and the birds are singing away. I love this time of year. And you know, I was in the garden the other day and I saw some primroses coming up that I didn't see there in the last 2 years. Do you know, I've kind of, the garden is being kept tidy-ish, but I'm not particularly, you know, going hard on keeping it neat. Suppose is the word I'm looking for, because we've been focusing on the house really. So I've been, you know, really working with hubby on the house, so the garden. But I like this because we've only moved here 2.5, 3 years ago, and so everything is in cycles in the garden. So last year we had foxgloves that weren't there the year before, and this year I'm seeing primroses that weren't there in the last 2 years. And there's a beautiful blue flower out the front, and it hasn't been there at all. And because things have kind of been let go, I mean, I'm trimming around the edges and keeping things tidy. You know, I'm seeing what the previous owner had down, and it's lovely. What am I on here? Okay, we're on the light color. So again, I'm going to start with the light. A lot of the time, this is what's recommended for new people who are coloring. You know, sometimes it's easier. You go in with the light, then go in with your darker colors. For me, I find it, I don't know, it's either or. I don't find it easier to start light, go dark, and go back light. I think it's much the same for me, whether I start at the light or start at the dark. You just have to restrain yourself when you start with the dark, so that, you know, you leave light patches. But one coat of light should do it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to stay on here the whole color all these bunnies, but if the chat is going good, I will. Let's see the little pink nose there for our bunny. So cute. Denise says, that's how I started card making. I decided just to give it a go. Yeah, same with me. My one of my daughters gave me some card making stuff one Christmas. Some ready-made envelopes and card blanks and stuff, and got me some stamps. And yeah, it started from there. Because she got me that stuff, I started watching some videos, and my youngest and my husband were doing YouTube videos where they were gaming online. And again, my youngest and my other daughters were all very much, you should do that, Mom, because you talk to anyone and you talk for Ireland. So you should do that. So yeah, if you look back on my older videos, I started with just showing my finished cards. You know, hi folks, I made a card today and this is what I made. And then as I grew more confident in making the cards, I then started, you know, making them and doing it and recording them. And it was as I became comfortable with the technology that I was using, you know. I'm going to go in with the dark now over that. So yeah, you know, I just love it. Where I am is quite rural, so I kind of don't feel so isolated having crafty friends. I kind of feel like, you know, like I mightn't see anyone from one end of the week to the other except my husband, but I've been chatting with loads of people. I mightn't be out at the shop chatting with people, but I still feel like I've had connection, you know, that I haven't been alone. And I think a lot of people, you know, kind of struggle with that. You know, I think there's so many people in the world, and yet we're afraid to say hello to someone or talk to people or look at someone's child in a pram or smile at them. You know, the world is kind of, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know, I think it's very sad. I know in olden days it took a village to rear a child kind of thing, and we've lost that, you know. So now there is our earth brown rabbit. He needs a bit of pink on his ears as well, or the one ear. So I'll add that in there. And I think so far this rabbit coloring on this one is my favorite, and the coloring on this one is my favorite. And you'll see as the inks dry, the color is actually changing on them. They lighten up a bit, which is brilliant. Alicia said she saw that Krillando. Oh, she saw Lidl has the Krillando. Beautiful cards, like a Hallmark card. And then add to for upcoming birthdays. Yeah, that's what I get my cardstock. My colored cardstock is the little Krillando cardstock. I just love it. I'm going to go back to this ice gray for this bunny. I like the color. I'm going to see if I can do this again or whether it was a fluke. And I'm going to start with the dark and then finish with the light. Now that I have a bit more confidence. Denise said she's done a 4-mile walk today. Oh, well, fair play. You wouldn't want to do any walking today here, Denise, because it's very grey. It's very overcast. It's wet, it's cold, and it's miserable. Now, I have a treadmill. And you know what? It does more for hanging clothes and putting stuff on it than it does for me walking. You know, I'll get up in the morning, and I think if I had someone to go walk with, I had my sister-in-law Caroline when we lived in Clare, and she is a great walker, and I used to go out walking with her, and it's the best and the fittest I've ever been, because when you go out walking, you get to see so much. But where I am, there's a lot of road, and there's no you know, path or sidewalk to walk on. So I would be very nervous to actually walk out on the road. And to me, I don't want to drive into the village to go for a walk around. And there's some great walks where I live in the town or the village that I live in. But I don't want to drive in there, go for a walk, and then drive home. It kind of defeats the object, if you ask me. But I have a treadmill, and I was only saying to Alicia when I was in the Netherlands last week visiting with her, hubby and I went over for a couple of days to see them, herself and her hubby, and, you know, and my granddaughter. Let's be real here. I went over to see my granddaughter. But yeah, I was saying to Alicia, I really need to start making the time to go back on the treadmill. And that's the thing, I'll kind of put it off. Like yesterday, I went to go on the treadmill, but I decided I really needed to do some ironing because I had about, I don't know, there must have been 16 shirts belonging to hubby that needed to be ironed. I'm desperate, guys. I will wash the shirts, and then when it gets to a stage that there's so many there and he's got so little to choose from, then I'd be like, oh, I better go and iron some shirts. But I rather do that than go on the bloody treadmill. Isn't that terrible? I love this little bunny. I love these colors for the bunnies. I think they're really good. I'm quite happy now with that, I think. I'm going to just add a little bit more of the light in the middle. Love it. Okay, so I have 4 little bunnies left. I think the tan blend, we might start with the tan blend for this one. So we'll do tan blend. And I'm just writing down what the different blends are so that if people are coming back and they're seeing the colouring in using these tri-blend markers, then it'll give you an idea of what I've used and how I've used them. And like I said, I'm a newbie, I'm a beginner, you know, and like if you were looking at this and thinking, oh, that looks good, Simone. Well, if, you know, a beginner, and you can see I'm throwing down the color. I mean, I've no method or rhyme to it. A lot of it is just color the whole bunny in the light. Then I'm going to the dark, and then I'm doing the medium in between. And sometimes I'm even just doing a bit of dark, a bit of light, a bit of medium. So I hope seeing this will give other people, you know, the confidence to have a go, you know. And the tri-blend markers, they're not as expensive as like Copics or Ohuhus or however you pronounce those ones. You know, I would recommend if you wanted to do some marker coloring using alcohol markers, then I would recommend the tri-blends only because you can buy one set and you can see all the colors that I have here. You can buy one set and that will be enough to do you, because you'll get all these colors in the one set. And then, you know, as you improve and you kind of think, hey, I'm doing really, really good at this and I'm really, really enjoying it, then you can be like, yeah, I think I'll, you know, invest a bit more money. And, you know, I think that's brilliant, you know, whereas having 360 Copics that cost X amount, I think I'd want to be really committed to the colouring if I was to buy Copics, you know. I'm using the dark now, and what I'm basically doing is I'm just going over where the dark ink is from the stamp, and I'm using that as a guide in helping me decide where I need to put it. And I'm just kind of doing squiggling, you know, because it's meant to be fur, kind of. So, yeah, but like I was saying, I think they're great value for money. You get a great range, and you can sit down and color anything, you know, and if you need a green, there's a green. If you need a yellow, there's a yellow. If you need a blue, you know, there's quite a good range of colors in this set. Let's see now, I've missed a little bit. Oh, Alicia is popping the live on the TV because my daughter Jane, hello Jane, are you watching? We generally have lunch together, so I'll be late to lunch. Hi Orla, welcome. Didn't just happen to see her live at the moment, and we'll catch for a few minutes. She's on lunch from work. Orla is one of my biggest fans. She's up there with a couple of others for support, and an absolutely lovely lady from Dublin. Orla, I'm having a bash at colouring, and I'm not being too precious about it. So yeah, this bunny looks a little bit harder now to do. So we'll just keep adding the darks and the lights and the mediums until we get it to a way that we like it. Who else is there? Edwina said most sports equipment end up as coat hangers. That is so true. I have got a cross trainer out in the garage. I have a rower, which was hubby's, is out in the garage because, oh, I don't have anywhere to put it in the house. Yeah, I'm sure there could be a space found for it, but you know what? I'm not too pushed on it at the moment. So hubby and I are being, and we were both looking at it when we were doing tidying out the shed to see what's going into the skip and what's staying. And we were both looking at stuff going, oh, should we get rid of it? Should we keep it? But sure, look, we won't worry about it. I'm loving this little rabbit. I don't know if I'm coloring it in as it really should be. I think maybe I might want to focus more on adding a bit more dark. So what I'm doing is doing what kind of appeals to me and I feel looks good. I know a lot of shading under the chin there and down the chest, where the leg overshadows the chest there, where this leg is kind of overshadowing the body and around the edge here, along the bottom there and along the bottom of the tail, and then across the back a little bit and bring down those colors. The same up around the eye and again in the darker places there. So I think that looks good with the dark. Now I'm going to go along those lines with my medium. And then what I'm going to do is finish off with the light in some places. I want this one to be a little bit darker, but I want to have some light spots on it. Yeah, I'm liking that. So now I'm going to go to the light and I'm just going to barely touch in there because the light will, it's like as if it bleaches the color. I think that looks good. How does that look good to you guys? I think it could do with a little bit more dark, wouldn't you say? So I'm going to come in again with the dark. Because the light really is bleaching out the color in this one. You can see the 3 different tones, but I think he needs to be darker than what I think. So, and like I said, I'm just squiggling the pen. I don't even know if that is a correct term. So he'll have some light patches. And I think now I'm going to go with the medium. In between and then around the paw. Yeah, I like that. I like that better. I hope that looks better on the, and I hope my lighting is good for this. It's very hard because it looks darker looking. I can look over the top of my phone and see what I've done. I'm going to add again some of the dark pink around the little nose. And we should have put a little bit of pink in here. So I'm going to add it in. All it will do is kind of bleach it out a little bit. I'm happy with that. It's not perfect. It's not great. But again, I'm kind of liking it. I think the tan blend, I can see with the 3 of them here, I think the lighter is very light compared to the dark and the medium. Whereas with the earth brown blend, I think it gives a much, there's better coloring. So this is easier to color in using this color, I think, for me, than the tan blend color is. Let's see, Denise says, it was my Walking for Health Club day, so it's nice to meet up with other people. She's lucky enough to live in the Yorkshire Wolds. Oh, lovely. An area that gets lots of nice walks. Oh, you're very blessed there, Denise. Beautiful area. Amanda said her husband complained about how I ironed his shirts, so he does his own and has done for 50 years. Well, That's the way to go. Do something badly so that the person you're doing it for is like, just leave it, I'll do it myself. Hubby can iron himself. I like to do that kind of thing for him. You know, I figure he's at work all day, he's working hard. It's, you know, a mental job that he does. And, you know, it fills up my day and I just feel I'm doing something nice for him. So I'm quite happy to do a bit of ironing. But would I be doing a bit of ironing, you know, every week? No, I let it all build up and then I'll just put on a good movie and I'll have the iron set up in front of the TV and away I go and I'm happy out. Let's see. We're going for that was the tan. Let's go. There's a color here and it's gold brown. That's it there, gold brown. I think I might do one of the rabbits in that and see how it comes out. Let's see. Denise is ironing to do this afternoon. I'll be thinking of you, Denise. Orla says, I'm doing great. Thank you, Orla. It's cold and wet and miserable in Dublin too, and definitely not walking weather. I think that's the weather for the whole of Ireland at the moment. It's just grey. Edwina said it looks fine to her. Good. I'm glad it looks fine to you guys. It's nice to get the feedback because, you know, I'm kind of like, oh, is it good enough? Is it all right? And am I doing a good enough job? And, you know, I'd hate for anyone to be here going, gosh, she's crap at this. But then you probably watch the Frugal Crafter or someone instead, which I don't mind. I think Lizi Werwick, is that how you pronounce her name? She is just inspirational. She is so good. She's such a good crafter. There's two things I would love to be able to do well in life. I would love to be able to color. I'd like to go out and set up an easel and just paint and look at it and go, wow. You know, hubby and I love watching the BBC Artist of the Year Awards and, you know, the program. And I think, wow, they're so blessed. So many people, they're so blessed with talent. I'd love to be able to sing. You know, I'd love to get up on a stage and sing where people are going, wow, she's got a great voice. Not for the praise of it. I just love to be able to bring the kind of joy that singers can bring to people, to have that kind of talent and to sing where people are sitting back going, that's fabulous. Wow, isn't that brilliant? Do you know, not because, oh my God, they're so good, but because it brings the listener pleasure. I'd love to be able to do that. But we all have our talents and you know, we should be happy with the talents we have. And I'm very pleased. I like to think of myself as a good mom and as a good wife. I think this is the part that needs a bit of pink. I suppose all we can do is do our best in life, really, isn't it, folks? I'm rattling on. Prattling on, I think is the word. So I'm going to add my mid-tone now. I started with my dark tone. I'm adding my mid-tone because I feel that sometimes we don't need to add a light. So I've done the 3 different colors here. I'm going to just do the 2 here and see how these come out. And again, I let the alcohol, the inks dry. And I'm not going over the dark color with this mid-tone. I'm kind of skirting around it. I love the fact that these markers don't squeak. Okay, so that's the mid-tone. Orla said she agrees with me that the Copic markers, they're very expensive. They are. She regrets not researching the different options before she bought Copics. Well, look, it's lovely to have the Copics, and if you can afford the Copics, that's brilliant. I mean, you are getting a better I mean, this is what I believe from what I hear. You're getting a better quality and probably ink and everything. And I think it's mostly down to the nibs from what Lindsay was saying. You know, the Copics, you're paying for the nibs and everything. But I think it's whatever you can afford and whatever your standard of coloring is. If you're crap at coloring and or you're a beginner or whatever, but if you have the money and you can afford to get, you know, Copics, then, you know, you do you. I do think having a better marker will help with your coloring, you know, having the better quality. I think it just helps your level improve. I mean, if you get a really poor quality marker, you're going to have a really crap blend, you know. But yeah, I think the best thing you can do is look at the professionals on YouTube, see what they're using, see what they recommend, and depending on where you are as a colorer, you know, go from there. I'm really happy with that. I think that gold color is lovely, isn't it, folks? That's the gold brown. So I'm going to write that in. Gold. Yeah, gold brown. I'm leaving enough room around them so I can fussy cut them and use them then in my Love from Lizi 10 cards. Okay, so we've 2 left to do. Look, I might as well finish these 2. It'll probably get us to 2 o'clock, and then I can go and have a bit of lunch and then come back and start assembling my cards. Let's see. Edwina said she wouldn't watch if we didn't like what we see. Ah, thank you, Edwina. That's lovely. Thank you very much. And Denise said she would love to learn to play the saxophone maybe one day. Wow, Denise, that's so cool. Playing an instrument is just, yeah. There's so many talents really out there, isn't there, guys? What color do I want to use next? Okay, I've done the tan blend. I've done the gold blend. So we've got the brown, the gray, and the ice gray. I think I might do the ice gray next, and then, well, I don't really have a lot of the brown gray, do I? I'm going to do the brown gray and the ice gray. They're the 2 that we'll do last. So I'll start with my brown gray. I'm going to start now. This time I'm going to start with the light and go from there. So I'll add my light color in. These rabbits are so cute. I'm looking forward to doing the cards. I have my designs already. I have my ideas for the cards I want to do. And they're all done in roughly in my book, the layout and stuff and the measurements. So what I need to do next now is sit down and cut out everything that I need for the cards, die cut everything out. I put each of the makings for a card into a little baggie. And then what I do is I have all 10 the side of my desk, and then I'll start with assembling them, and I record that. That's what I do. I know a lot of people, they kind of get everything for one card, make the card, record it, and then move on to the other. I find it really handy to actually have everything ready and just do all the recording at one time on one day. So I've got to get everything ready to do a video and then get that done. My daughter and her partner are coming up on Friday, and they'll be here the weekend. I love to see Caitlin coming up. It's lovely having her and her 2 boys, her partner and his little fella comes up. It's lovely to have them, you know, especially in the house. The house is so quiet with myself and Mike. You know, when you have visitors, it really feels like the house comes alive. So I'm looking forward to them coming up. So I want to have everything done and dusted. Hopefully I'll have it all recorded and edited and sitting on YouTube ready to go by the time Caitlin comes up, herself and the boys. We can rock into getting all the stuff done. It's a never-ending thing when you have a house, you know, making sure that everything is as it should be. That's the joy of it, really. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're doing grand here. Oh, there's Ghost. Someone just drove past the house, so he lets me know. And I'll know if it's someone coming to the house because the doorbell will go off. Now I have to deal with the dog. Ghost, that's enough now. Sit down and relax. Sit down. That's enough. Good boy. He's younger than Buster. We have two dogs. Buster is as chilled out as you get. He's absolutely chilled. Ghost is neurotic. Someone goes past the house, and they don't even have to drive past the house. Like, it can be the side road up the way, and he'll still lose his life. You know, he's a red setter and like a golden retriever mix. He's a mad lunatic of a dog, but he's so lovely. Now I'm in with my dark, and I'm going to finish with the dark on this bunny. I like that now. I like that a lot. So this is our brown gray. We'll add some pink now. I'll go for the dark. We'll put it inside the ear there and just around the nose there. Lovely. So we're on to our last little bunny, and they're very quick to color. Literally, that took me 5 minutes, and I did more yapping than anything else. So again, I'm going to start with the light all over. Edwina said her cat has been catching rabbits and bringing the carcass as a gift for the day. Oh, lovely. Oh, it's a gift for the dog. Hopeless trying to get. I can't. There's a little, see the little heart there. So when I see a comment come up, sometimes I can't see what's under it. So it says, hopeless trying to get the dog off the rabbit. We'll have to worm them all again. So nice to see cute rabbits on the paper. Oh my gosh, isn't that the joy of living in the countryside when you have cats and dogs and yeah, the joys of it. I'm not a cat person. I don't dislike cats. You know, if I went to someone's house and they had a cat, and you know, I'd give it a rub, and you know, I love all creatures, but a cat is not something I would like to own, just because I don't know. Can you train them not to jump up on your countertops? Because that freaks me out, guys. I have friends and yeah, that have cats, and they'll be like, oh, come in, will you have a cup of tea? Will you have a sandwich? And you'll have seen the cat walking along the bloody countertop, and next thing they're opening a loaf of bread and they're making you a sandwich, and you're like, are you not even going to wipe the counter down? Like, oh, so that really puts me off being a cat owner. I would just be neurotic about everything being cleaned and tidy, and yeah, but I mean, they're lovely animals, but they're definitely an animal for themselves. I think a dog's love is unconditional, whereas a cats I think they love conditionally. It's like feed me and I'll love you for the next 5 minutes. I've known some lovely cats that friends and family have had, but at the same time, like they turn around and they give them a slap of a paw. I'm like, and I know dogs can, you know, like you can have the same with dogs, but I just don't think it's to the same extent. I just, yeah, no, I'm not a cat person, but I am an animal person, if that makes sense. So, yeah, but Buster is just the best dog. I think we've had a number of dogs, Randy, Grammit, we've had Buddy, Buster and Ghost, and I think Buster is just the most affectionate, the most loving and easygoing and just lovely dog. He's in his winter years, and yeah, I'm going to be very sad when he goes. So let's see, what's the last? My dog is like that. He barks at anyone coming near the house or driving past. Yeah, Ghost is like that. He'll bark at everyone. But once you come in, like there's no growling or, you know, they're the loveliest dogs and they're lovely to everyone. Absolutely useless guard dogs, but they'll bark like they'd tear your throat out, which I suppose is a good thing, you know, when you're living in the country. Denise, it freaks her out too with the cats. Yeah, I just can't get my head around cats. They can be, you know, up and on the counter space, and yeah, no, can't handle that. Your cats don't tend to go on the countertop, said Rena. He is fed in the utility room, so he doesn't bother with the kitchen. Well, that's all well and good. I suppose if you have a cat or you get a kitten or whatever, and you train them that they don't jump up onto the countertops, I suppose it's doable. I love the fact that cats will train their kittens to a litter box within 2 to 3 days. That blows my mind. Whereas puppies can take weeks. Some dogs are good now and they'll train pretty quickly. But I said to hubby, if we ever get another puppy, I'm training it to a litter tray. You know, rather than the puppy pads, it'll have a litter tray and then it'll train to that outside. And I want to have one spot in the garden where the dog will go pee and poop, rather than, you know, if you walk on the grass and the dogs have been in the grass, you could find a poop anywhere. That I dislike about having dogs. So I think, though, that's part and parcel down to training of yourself. So yeah, wow. Guys, we've been on, well, I've been on for 1 hour and 12 minutes. It was a real, I suppose I don't post that I'm going to go live because that way I'm not committed to doing it. Whereas if I just randomly go live and I have a couple of viewers, that's brilliant. I feel like I'm with friends having the chats, you know, really lovely. And this gets to stay then on YouTube, and anyone that wants to see can have a look and I can, you know, reference back to it, which is lovely. So that is it. They are our lovely bunnies, and they're from the April 2024 Spring Wishes card kit, part of the stamp set. There's lovely little floral pieces here as well, and some leaves and a nice big rose, and we've lovely sentiments. But I just wanted to focus colouring in the rabbits and having a bit of practice doing that with my tri-blends. So I hope that you have all enjoyed this pop-up live using my tri-blend markers. Yeah, I've really enjoyed coloring with you guys, having you here, reading your comments. I always say I must do this more often. I really must do this. And I think it's been about 2 or 3 months around Christmas time, I think, when I did the last live. So I promise, guys, I will work more at doing some more lives and sharing and letting everyone know. But I mean, they are here as well for everyone to come back to. Denise said she really enjoyed watching and listening while she ironed. Take care, my crafty friend. Oh, crafty sister. It was lovely having you here and having you all here, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. And if you're coming back to this after it's been live, thank you so much for watching too. I hope you just have me on in the background while you're doing whatever you're doing. Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to leave it there. So Orla, Denise, Edwina, Dawn, I think that's everyone. Amanda and Alicia. Yeah, I think that was everyone scrolling through the comments there. Thank you so much for watching and being with me while I'm here on a very rainy afternoon in Mayo in Ireland, just doing a bit of colouring. So I'm going to leave it there, folks, and I will see you all again really soon. So until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Bye-bye.